All right, Obama's money. Hi, Bill. Oh, am I going to get the shit kicked out of me on this one? He signed a book deal, you unread douche. Oh, stop it. Stop it. I don't even want to hear this shit. I don't even want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this, dude. He's going to go around and dude, he had $70 million worth of fucking tour dates. He also had that. You selectively unreading douchebag. Don't tell me he had a fucking $900 million book deal. Obama, $65 million book deal. All right, wait a second. And now I'm going to fucking hit you back with my shit. Obama, speaking dates, money, tour. Here we go. Come on, man. Big number. Michelle Obama tickets for 2018. Barack Obama, $400,000 speaking fees. Reveal what few... Here we go. Obama secures $800,000 for 2 speaking. Who do you think he's talking to, huh? You think he's going to a homeless shelter? The reason many of us have been critical of Barack Obama's outrageous $400,000 speaking fees is that it robs us of a fantasy that sooner or later the first black president was going to use his considerable powers in or out of office to help the economic ravages of the poor who are disproportionately black. Blah blah blah. But you know, a white person probably wrote this. I want to know who he's talking to. Huh? Who the fuck has $400,000 to throw at this fucking guy? They're all... I don't know how to talk to you fucking assholes. So am I really supposed to sit here and I'm supposed to think that these fucking guys, like everybody with the blue tie, I just don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. All right? Okay, $65 million book deal. Okay, after taxes, sir. After taxes and all the bullshit, that'll probably be about $30 million. And I guarantee you, he is going to be worth, when it's all said and done, about $200 million. Okay? And it's not going to be because he wrote a fucking book. All right? He's also going to go out and they do these speaking engagements to all these corporations and they'll pay them $400,000. And these are the same people that got him into office. And he went in there and did what the fuck they wanted. And this is just them washing their bribe money. I mean, honestly, dude, what changed when he was in office that everybody is so enamored with? Did we stop torturing people down in Guantanamo? Did we fucking end the war over there? Are we finally going like, hey, wait a minute, ISIS doesn't have a plane or a boat. Why are we acting like Germany got back together? No, it's the same fucking thing. It's the same goddamn shit. It's the same guy with a different colored tie. All right? I will fucking read up on this. Hi, Bill. Love your shows and you work at Outlet of the World. Our most recent podcast, you talked about the house Obama just bought and wondered where the money came from. Here's a piece that explains it. It doesn't. It doesn't. $65 million, you don't turn around and you're only going to get $30 million of that. Okay, and then you're going to go out and buy an $80 million fucking house. You're going to pay the 30-year note on that, paying interest on that because you just basically got $30 million after taxes. That makes no fucking sense. All right? And also, I would actually be willing to suggest that I am a fucking paranoid maniac, that the information that you're going to... They're not going to tell you... Can somebody explain to me how did the Clintons become worth like hundreds of millions of dollars? Let me guess. They both wrote a book for $100 million each and they don't pay taxes? And that was it? And then other than that, they're like Jimmy Carter driving around the world fucking, building houses for the poor. I never claimed, sir, to be 100% fucking read up on this shit. I'm not even 2% read up on it, but neither are you. Okay? This is not a piece that explains it. This is a piece that just shows this guy cashing the fuck in. $65 million is the gross. He's going to get about $30 million. That's it, because he's got to kick in for this never-ending war too. All right? So now he's got $30 million. He owes $82 million. Like, what is the fucking payment on that a month? Now he's going to go around and he's going to give all these fucking speeches, okay? And schools do not have the fucking, I would say Ivy League schools, some of these bigger fucking schools, maybe they have that. But generally speaking, they go around and they talk to these corporations who got him into fucking office. Hey, do what the fuck we want you to do. You know, every fucking one of them. I don't know. I think the whole fucking thing is weird. It's all weird. It's all weird that he's a public servant and blah, 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 blah. And then the end of the rainbow, you're worth $200 fucking million and you're living in the same neighborhood as all those corporate cunts who pour shit into the fucking water supply. Like the fact that doesn't bother you on any goddamn level, and you're going to just sit there, well, you got $65 million for a book. I mean, there you go. I'm satisfied with that. I don't think the political system is corrupt at all. I don't think it's a bad thing that now corporations can dump unlimited amount of funds into presidential candidates. I don't think that influences their decisions on foreign policy whatsoever. I don't know. Hey, you know what, sir? Agree to fucking disagree. All right? Anyways, I haven't even read the rest of this. And despite the fact that I don't agree with you, I will say that there are assholes on both sides. I, however, believe that there is a lot to be said about how one conducts themselves, which is why I side with Hillary over Trump. Yeah, I love you people who like it's how you conduct yourself. As long as you continue murdering innocent people, it's not a problem. But they're so eloquent when they give a speech. Do you know why the president ages the way they do? It's because of the dead bodies. That's why. It's not the economy. It's not the sketches on SNL, which is what always cracks me up when you see, like, people in Hollywood talking about how they want to run for president. You're basically saying that you're so fucked in the head that you want to go to bed, put your head on the pillow going like, did I do the right thing? We thought they were the enemy. It turned out to be a family. There were children there. And you have to fucking go to bed. And then the next day, fucking smile and give some goddamn speech. It is the most fucked up. Maybe they deserve the money. I don't know. Maybe I'm oversimplifying. I am. I always oversimplify. You know what, sir? I agree with you. You're probably right. You know what? There you go. That's how he got the house. He wrote a book, Hickory Dickory Dock. This chick was sucking my cock. Clock stuck to fucking Andrew Dice Clay. God bless you. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't read. Oh, speaking of which, oh my God. I said on my last podcast that the Obamas bought an $82 million house. Turned out it was an $8.1 million house. It wasn't even $8.2 million. That's how off I was. And this is my favorite thing. So now all these people are like, what? They're all going, why don't you do your fucking homework, man? Like nothing makes people flip out. Not even religion. Unless you make fun of Muslims. Then those fucking lunatics are liable to do something. But fucking, if you make fun of like a Democrat or Republican, nothing brings people out of the woodwork. So all these people are like, why don't you do your fucking homework, blah, blah, which is hilarious. This whole podcast is based on me not doing any homework, not reading whatsoever. So I'm just going to tell you political cunts out there, you got a lot of fucking nerve. A lot. I just said AIDS came from white people fucking in the mud at Woodstock. Are you going to come back at me on that one? Why don't you do your fucking homework, man? This whole podcast exists for one reason and one reason only. It's to make you feel smarter. We here at the Monday Morning Podcast, and by we, I mean me and the voices in my head that agree with me. We here at the Monday Morning Podcast set the bar so low that even you know, with that college that you went to that advertised on television and you drove yourself there and they like living there was not even an option. They didn't have dorms. They just, was your college one giant sad building looking like a high school for people in their 20s? Yeah. Yeah, that's who you are. And you know what? Even you get to feel smart on this podcast. So my favorite thing is, if you go back and you listen to my podcast on Monday when I thought I was so fucking right about the Obamas buying this $82 million house, is somebody actually wrote into the podcast and goes, Bill, I love you, but why don't you do your homework? Obama just signed a $62 million book deal, okay? And this is what's fucking hilarious. He's telling me to do my homework. He didn't even do the homework to look up, to double check what the fuck I said, even say if it was true. He just took it for granted that I said $82 million house, and then he's like, he took that as truth and started looking up the guy's fucking book deal. So why don't you do your fucking homework, man? All right, for the 9 millionth time, okay, on this podcast, do not take anything I say seriously. Okay, you can disagree with it, whatever, you can correct me and all that, but just don't get upset. And don't be fucking surprised that I fucking don't read. And then my facts might be off by a good $72 million, okay? You know what you guys sound like, all you fucking political cunts out there bitching at me? You sound like all these fucking fat actresses out here who are bitching about Hollywood, acting as though they're surprised that so much of this fucking industry is based on how you look. Was that really a shocker? Had you never been to a movie? You didn't notice a trend? Do you think it's just you? You know what I mean? You fucking sloppy tits who's having a rough time. I'm a fucking bald, redheaded male. I have no sympathy for you. Nobody's knocking down their fucking door to put me in an action movie, you know? I could be Hellboy, do a fucking cycle of steroids. I already have the head. You just fucking paint it red and you're ready to go. I could do a headstand and fucking my head would turn so red you could save, it's the amount of money you'd save on makeup and time alone. Bill, do a fucking handstand. Okay, you're in this scene. Anyways, so I guess the Obamas bought an $8.1 million house, not an $82 million house. Which then led me into this whole thing, like this is his third book that he's written. It's like he was writing books while he was president. Aren't you supposed to be running the fucking country? Fucking sitting there dealing with the Russians and all this terrorist groups and all that shit. And then you're like fucking at nighttime. You take out a little legal pad. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. These fucking assholes aren't writing the books. They always got like somebody else. It's like written by Bill Clinton and the other guy who actually wrote the book. Yeah, I want to write a thriller. How about you and me write it, right? Like you'll put your name, I'll put my name on the cover and then you like write it. What is that book about? You got to write what you know. It's got to be something about somebody fucking sneaking around on his wife, right? Sticking cigars in people. Oh, it's too on the nose. I wanted to be challenged. I wrote about a guy who was faithful. Sorry for the bad Bill Clinton. Now I guess, Bill, why don't you do your homework? The book is actually about his experiences when he was at Oxford. Oxford, in England. You know, my apologies to anybody out there who is offended by it. I don't apologize. All right? That's something that a mature adult does. I clicked on their profile because I was just like, you know what? That is above average shit talk. Is this another comic? Is this an up-and-coming comic? I don't know. That was like almost a comedian level funny. So I went to this person's thread and I, read their little blurb, couldn't figure out what they did. So I scrolled down to try to figure out, are they a comedian? Look for a stand-up picture. And one of the things this person had retweeted was from this something feminist. It was talking about Donald Trump. And was saying, like, Donald Trump just made fun of the victims of Me Too, and the crowd roared with approval, period. And then again, she wrote, roared with approval, right? And then she had the link. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? This is what he did today? This guy's fucking crazy. So I click on it, and he made a roundabout reference to Me Too. You know, he was using Me Too the way some people use millennials, which is not right. I'm not saying it's right to do that. But I'm not trying to be a cunt here, but I am a comedian, and I've been on stage for 26 years. They did not roar with approval. Okay? He got a chuckle. He got a polite chuckle. I'm not saying they weren't meatheads there. I'm not saying what he said was fucking right. But the crowd did not roar with approval, period. roared with approval. And it, just as a comedian, that fucking annoyed me. Because I remember back in the day, you'd see these fucking comics get off stage. Oh, dude, I fucking crushed. I'd be saying, you got the job done. That's not killing, you cunt. Stop walking around saying you killed. Donald Trump didn't kill. Okay? If that was his fucking audition set for a club and those were the laughs he was getting, they would say, you know what? He's not ready yet. I'm not saying he's not funny. He was getting some laughs, but he was all right. But I don't think he's ready for a weekend spot yet. Like he was getting like Monday, Tuesday level laughs. Like back, when there was some sort of fucking system in the clubs when they would actually build talent. They used to have, Monday was like an open mic night at Nick's. And then the big deal was your next move at Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston. The next move was the host, Billy Martin, who's now one of the made men over there at Bill Maher's show. He then had a show Wednesday night at the Kowloon. And that was the first big fucking move. Out of the open mics, I got a spot at the Kowloon. And you'd say that to the other open micers, and it burned through the crowd of open micers. Dude, Burr got a spot at the Kowloon. And then I remember thinking, like, the first time I did a spot at the Kowloon, I was so fucking nervous because this was the first time I went on in front of a crowd that was not expecting to see an open micer. They did not go to an open mic show going, all right, let's see what these fucking people have, or I'm here to see a friend of mine. Like, they came out to see a comedy show. And they were like, all right, we're going to hand you the keys for 5 minutes. Let's see what the fuck you do, right? So I would say that that's where Trump was in that speech. He was doing 5 minutes at the Kowloon. All right. This has nothing to do about what the fuck he said or whatever. But I did find it interesting, though. But that's how she heard it. She heard them roaring with laughter. Yeah. Like, and when you listen to Trump going fake news, like it isn't necessarily, well, sometimes it's fake, but it's more just people hear shit and then whatever they're passionate with, it raises the fucking levels, Like, with me, this, you guys at this point, if you listen long enough, the shit that sets me off. All right. And like, the amount of fucking times I lose my shit and I think it's going a certain way. And then I find out not only am I not right, I am 100%. It's a complete 180. It's going the other direction. Now, I'm not saying that this woman should not have been upset, and also been upset that people chuckled, but they did not roar with laughter. I'm just being a cunty comedian right now, There's just certain things that people say that goes into the terminology of a comedian, and it bugs me. Like the thing that I talked about a year ago or 2 years ago was this fucking phenomenon where all of a sudden people started saying, I love when the comedian heckled the crowd. It's like, no, the comedian doesn't heckle the crowd. The comedian gets heckled. A heckler goes to a performance and tries to disrupt a performance, a speech, anything. That is a heckler. All right? For a comedian to be heckling a crowd, the crowd had to be collectively giving some sort of fucking performance that he's interrupting. All right? You could say the comedian snapped. I love when you fucking just lost your shit on that guy. But I'm not heckling the crowd. Like, oh, look at how you sit in your seats. You call that a show? Sorry. Whatever.